You know a word I don't like? Nuance.
So the Punisher's first ability, his left click, is called Education, otherwise known as Pew Pew. I can assume you know how to read, but it is a rapid fire projectile. Its damage is 18 per round. The important part is fall off starts at 20 meters. Now, 20 meters is pretty decent length in this game. You're never going to be at 40 meters, and honestly, if you're firing that far back with Castle at 40 meters, you're not going to hit, and it's going to feel like you are shooting BBs at people. So the fire rate's actually really good. Ammo count's fine. It can critical hit. Now I don't know what a critical hit does exactly, but it's either 1.5 or 2 times damage. So you really want to aim for those headshots. Now Frank Castle is one of the few characters. There's about I think like half a dozen of them that have multiple modes on the left click. Now his left click is Deliverance Shotgun. Now this thing is a get off me tool. Its fall off begins off at 8 meters and decreasing to 40% at 15 meters. So you're doing less than half damage per pellet. And so we're going through the stats here. It says damage 10 damage per round, but that is 10 damage per round, and there is 14 bullets fired with each cast. So that is each pellet is 10 damage. Now, you may want to use this when people are like getting really in your face and trying to hunt you down. You don't really want to run in that close at 8 meters onto the points. Yeah, some of the points you want to do that and do the control. Pushing the cart, it's a good thing to kind of have this shotgun out. But for the most part, you want your vanguards to be up front there. So, in my opinion, I use it a lot just to be like, oh crap, someone's on me. The second part of your get off me tool is going to be the Scourge grenade. So it there's a couple uses for it. First of all, it creates a temporary smoke screen that obstructs vision. This interacts with your passive, and we'll get into what the passive does, but you can see through the smoke screen. It actually causes a backward jump distance of 9 meters, so it kind of makes you leap. And you kind of use this a couple times, even as like maybe a little mini jump. For the most time, like someone is going to run toward you, you're going to pop that sucker right in front of you. It's going to knock you back 9 meters, and it's going to block their vision, and you're going to try and shoot them or run away or do anything like that. It also does 45 damage, so don't sleep on it doing nothing. It's actually something you should be popping off pretty frequently, kind of as a defensive tool, but also like that's going to do more than your assault rifle in a quick burst. It's going to have more distance than your shotgun sometimes. So it's definitely very, very useful. The Punisher's ultimate on Q is called Final Judgment. So it's got 2 Gatling guns and missile attacks enemies. So there's a lot to talk about with this ability. The Gatling gun has its own damage profile. The missiles have their own damage profile and fall off. So important things to note. 10 seconds. You're not going to survive that long if you use this wrong. Make sure that you are in good positions to fire upon people and you are not the first person they see. As you can see, slow rate while idling. If you're not firing, you're 20% slower. If you are shooting, you're 40% slower. So, in definitely one of these clips, I get domed by a Hawkeye instantly when I cast this. So, make sure that you're doing that pretty well. We're going to start with the Gatling gun. The damage fall off is at 20 meters, same as your assault rifle. It's only 70% at 40 meters, so this thing is actually kind of nice to just pew-pew your way through it. And, it's decreasing 70% damage of 8 damage per round. So with this one, it's a bit of a kind of opposite. If you're a bit farther, it's kind of okay because of how fast this thing shoots. It's firing 33.33 rounds per second. That's insane. The ammo is infinite, and it can critical hit. So basically, when you start this thing, just hold the trigger and start flinging your crosshair at everyone you can see until they're dead. The shoulder-mounted missiles. Now, this part is cool, because the shoulder-mounted missiles deal a lot of damage, 50. Every 3 seconds, one of these missiles is going to go off. And the interval, so like every 3 seconds, it's going to go pew-pew-pew, and then it's going to be 0.3 seconds after that. So you actually have a maximum number of missiles per volley, which is 8, and then a maximum number of lockdown missiles per target. So if you are within 40 meters of a target and you're looking at them, your missile will go straight to them and will lock onto them. If you're just blindly firing when the missile goes off, it's just going to go off wherever it's going to hit somebody, kind of in the general direction where you're pointing. But you can only allow 8 of these per volley, and again, that's over the 10 seconds. You are either going to kill everything on screen before this happens, or you're probably going to die before you get to this point, all right? Vantage Connection is his mobility tool on shift. So it's a weird uh, ability. It generates a cable. It stays there between deaths, and you could go up to it, hit F, and zip wherever you go. But it is finicky as all get up in my 2 hours that I played with the Punisher around, and even some of the extra stuff after I stopped getting footage. It's got a 20 degree to 160 degree angle. I'm not a fucking mathematician. I'm not a geometry major. Okay, I'm gonna look at this shit. I'm gonna just try and hit shift, and it's not gonna hit. I'm gonna be like every time. So it can be 5 meters to 35 meters in length, and you zipping through it at 25 meters per second. It has a 20-second cooldown, so it's kind of nice to have, but it can be destroyed if it's attached to something that is destructible. It will get destroyed and demolish itself. If you actually hit something like a billboard that has flimsy health, it'll actually connect and then die. I saw that happen a few times. It just I don't know. I don't like it. I wish I was more like Moon Knight, where it's just pop it, pull myself forward, or let my teammates use this. I have done some cool things with it, but it's just a very hard tool to try and master. It's basically map knowledge, placement. What can I get away with? How can I do it? It's getting used to using it. So, I mean, I really don't know what to say other than that. Like, it feels bad initially for a newer player, and I know an experienced Punisher is going to have, like, his 2 zip lines that go boop boop from his connections or whatever spawn points, and he's, like, on everyone again. But there's just so many times where I'm just running back going, I died again, woo. Alright, so Culling Turret is his other ability. It's on E. Basically, it is a stationary turret with a shield in the front. It can soak about 600 damage. That's the health of the turret. If people can shoot you in the head or people can get around or the sides of you, they can just kill you instead of the turret. The turret does 12 damage per round and deals 12 damage per round on the explosion. And the explosion is 3 meters. So if you saw in the little skill preview, it's killing the primary target faster than everyone else because the primary target is taking the 12 damage from the direct hit and the 12 damage per the explosion. So you're doing 24 damage per round. It's a bit misleading with the way they describe it. He has another thing where his crosshair spread gets better after so many shots. So it's really negligible. I mean, it's kind of fun to see it, but I don't really notice the difference in game. It has 12.5 rounds per second. I did not know it had ammo because for the most part, when I put this thing down, I'm never getting to that 200 because I'm getting pushed off of it, I'm getting killed, or it's just getting exploded. The entire enemy team, when you put this turret down, will literally say, don't get punished. Oh, there's a turret. This, that, the other thing. Oh my god, he's got a turret. They make it a big hubbubaloo, and you announce it too. But it's a really good stationary placement. Again, positioning is going to be important. Where you put this thing down is going to be nice. Like, push the cart is one of the ones that's kind of hard for me because I know, like, I'll put it down, and they're just hiding behind the cart. It's good against fire lanes. It is kind of a good oh shit button if everyone's pushing. I mean, I've used it point blank with tanks and shredded them. And sometimes don't be afraid to stay on the turret. I know I was saying that people could flank you, but for instance, like I've had people run up to me like a Venom or a Iron Fist, and if you're fast enough with getting this thing to turn, you will kill them and they will be punching the turrets. And even if you don't kill them and the turret gets destroyed, guess what? They're about half health and you have a shotgun. Alright? So it's a good ability, but again, placement, where you use it, how you use it. There's actually a lot of nuance with the Punisher, considering one of his lines is, I hate nuance. Alright, so the Punisher's passive is Warrior's Gaze. It's basically wall hacks. This is why you can see through your own smoke screen. You retain vision of an enemy that disappeared from view within 30 feet range, and that basically, when they disappear, it's for 3 seconds. There's not much to say about it. You can track people, you can see where they're going, see what they're doing. Sometimes you can see a character trying to flank, but basically not much to say about it. How you utilize it is information, and knowledge is key in some of these instances. The Punisher's team ability is called Infinite Punishment. It is a team ability he has with Rocket Raccoon. So Rocket puts the pylon out. The pylon lasts for 12 seconds, and you have infinite ammo. You get a 67% fire rate boost on both of your weapons. It is a pylon that can be destroyed, so the enemies can pop it, but it is a lot of fun. If you have a rocket on your team, you are going to have good times. If he's got good placement and if he's got good timing on that, I absolutely love working with him because he pops that down and you basically become a mobile turret. You deal as much damage as your culling turret, and it feels like you're on final judgment for just a little bit. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and having a pocket rocket raccoon healing the crap out of you, healing the team, and just pumping your damage numbers was the best time. So I really enjoy it. So final thoughts on the character. Um, Nuance. It is really funny because you have to know when to use your assault rifle, when to use your shotgun, where to put your zip lines, where to use your turret, when to use your turret, what angle you should be using Final Judgment in. He is a low skill floor, high skill ceiling character, in my opinion, because if you're landing headshots, if you have good aim, you're going to be doing a lot of damage, destroying everyone. His ultimate's really cool. I just don't like that it's basically, judge, jury, executioner. He that's that whole lineup, and I get it. So it gives you people, a chance to respond. But yeah, if you do this thing the wrong way, your teammates are going to be judging you. The jury is going to be out, and you're going to be the one executed. All right. So there's that. Vantage connection. I think that this should just be a regular grapple hook, zip line, fire and forget pulls you toward a thing like Moon Knight. I feel like newer players are not going to know how to use this correctly, and I think a lot of people, myself included, are hitting shift to sprint or do something like that, and you would just slap it against the wall or something. Scourge grenades, again, really good. Don't underutilize them. Utilize them a lot. Final judgment. Use your ult. I know it's like perfect moment, this, that, and the other thing, but sometimes I go the entire games and I use my own going, well, shit, I wasted it. So his passive, it's fun, it's cool. It's not the greatest thing in the world, and like I just said, his team ability is awesome. But anyway, that's the end of my little mini rant about the Punisher. Kind of my first impressions guide video here. So anyway, I will see you guys in the Curniverse, and goodbye.